Hey, everybody, it's Jade. Thanks so much for swinging on through, for skolling on through, whatever brought you here. Of course, I'm happy to have you. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. And of course, I have some Minnesota Vikings news, some stuff to touch on. And before I get to that, I have some former Minnesota Vikings news to touch on, and that is the Case Keenum Renaissance. It continues, people. He is going to be signing with the Bills Mafia, which means that the miracle workers are going to be reunited. Case Keenum signing with the Bills Mafia. Who's already on the Buffalo Bills? Stefon Diggs. Yes. So the Bills Mafia, they've already been my number 2, and with them picking up Case Keenum, he's going to be the backup to Josh Allen. Obviously, it's like the Minnesota Vikings better watch out. They're about to be usurped by the Bills Mafia in regards to my fandom. And so apparently Case Keenum is good enough to be a backup for Josh Allen, but can't come back to Minnesota. But I'm really excited for Case Keenum, and it just is like an extra little, like cherry on top that Stefon Diggs is already there. So very exciting. So I'm not saying that I want Josh Allen to get hurt or anything, but if Case Keenum has to step up, and somehow there was another Case Keenum, Stefon Diggs miracle moment, that would be just absolutely amazing. And if the Bills Mafia just manage to win the big one, that would mean that Case Keenum and Stefon Diggs would get those rings, and that would just be amazing. So like I said, the purple better look out. But so very excited for Case Keenum. I will always kind of be, following him around, seeing what's going on there. Keeniac for life. And I'm just excited that him and Stefon get to be reunited. And if Minnesota doesn't win the big game, Bills Mafia, they're going to be my number 2. And if Case and Diggs happen to each get a ring, that would be amazing. So anyway, moving on now, of course, to the Minnesota Vikings. And speaking of backup quarterbacks, actually, because my next thing was news on Pizza Ranch Boy, aka Kirk Cousins. He got his emotional support backup quarterback back. That is Sean Mannion's back, everybody. So he's going to be returning to the purple and going to be the backup for Kirk Cousins. And like I said, in my mind, Sean Mannion is the equivalent to the emotional support backup quarterback. Kirk apparently needs him, loves having him in the room, blah, 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 blah. They can talk it out, do. And it's that's all fine and dandy. It's maybe Mannion should have come back as some sort of quarterback coach, because if Kirk goes down, Sean, you're kind of all we got. I guess the team still has Kellen Mond, and we don't even really know what's going on there. But anyway, so Pizza Ranch Boy, none other than Kirk Cousins, he was on the Pat McAfee show this week. So the notes that I've written down for that little appearance are Disney, Mullet, and Suck Up Central. I just felt like that whole thing, it was kind of a snoozer, to be honest. Whoever hasn't listened to it or seen it, honestly, it was kind of boring. It was just a lot of sucking up, kind of like when I said oh, you got all this money, be back with the Vikings, are you happy, blah 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 blah. Alright, it's nothing really exciting besides the fact that Kirk seemed to be very infatuated with one of Pat McAfee's co-hosts has a little bit of a mullet situation going on, and Kirk seemed quite fascinated by that. And also learned that Kirk and his family spend a lot of time at Disney. So he spends his off season, I should say, in Florida. And I don't know if it's Disneyland. I think it's Disneyland in Florida and Disney World in California, but whatever. Kirk's basically just a dorky Disney dad, and is that really surprising? No, not really at all. And they're just kind of sucking up, blah 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 blah. Like I said, kind of a snooze fest, but I watched it, listened to it because I wanted to kind of see. And just a lot of oh, you have a good agent. They talked about Kirk's agent. Again, still convinced he has the best one in the league. So it's of course they're going to talk about that. And, Kirk doing that purple politician smile and chuckle that he does all too well. In the back of his mind, he's I'm effing rich. Anyway, so moving on from that now. And I think that was Was that this last Tuesday? Can't quite remember, but like I said, moving on to the new Vikings. So the new Vikings that the Purple have acquired thus far in the offseason, and this is via Sean Borman on Twitter. That's where I got this. Zadarius Smith, a former Evil to the East, now with the Purple, outside linebacker, and he just signed with Minnesota this past week, and I saw and listened to a little bit of his introductory presser and, talk to the media. And I gotta say, Zadarius Smith, I like the attitude. Seems to really want to be with the Vikings, ready to work, wants to get some wins, make stuff happen, and it seems like, too, he's a leader, like natural born leader, and I really think that ever since Everson Griffin is no longer with the Vikings, that they're really missing that like core leader, that like locker room leader that they really, really need. So it seems like Zadarius Smith could definitely fit the bill there. It's very early to see, of course, but I really, like I said, I liked the attitude, like kind of a little bit of the moxie there, and hopefully that can carry into the locker room in a good way. And the Vikings signed Zadarius Smith for 3 years. And then I already mentioned defensive tackle Harrison Phillips, aka Horrible Harry, formerly with the Bills Mafia. He's signed with Minnesota for 3 years. And then linebacker Jordan Hicks, that's kind of an old one here. I think that was a couple of weeks ago now. He signed a 2-year deal. He most recently was with the Arizona Cardinals. That's a pretty good one there too. And also a good signing that the Vikings need is a tight end, because with Irv Smith coming back after missing the entire last season due to injury. I kind of forget what Irv Smith's injury was, but obviously Irv Smith was looking very, very promising, but coming off missing an entire season, you don't exactly know. And Tyler Conklin, parting is such sweet sorrow. He's with the Jets now, so obviously the Vikings were in need at tight end, and now they have a new one by the name of Johnny Mont. I hope I'm saying that right. Last name M-U-N-D-T. He was formerly with the LA Rams, so Kevin O'Connell was like, I'm going to take you with me to Minnesota. And so he signed a 2-year deal, and most recent signing here from the Purple, speaking of cornerback issues, haven't said it yet, but speaking of cornerback issues, cornerback, that is, because there was issue there. It seems like there always is. Chandan Sullivan, he is now with the Purple, former Evil to the East member, another former cheesehead there, signing a 1-year deal, so that is going to be very, very helpful, because the Vikings were in need there. They were in need of defensive help, so that's seemingly a good signing. Now, again, it's really early. They haven't played any games yet, but on paper, right? On paper, it looks pretty good. And then there's one more offensive lineman, Austin. This is another last name I hope I'm not butchering. Schlottman. Schlottman, formerly of the Denver Broncos. They signed him for a 1-year deal. So, all of these signings thus far, it's been a pretty active offseason for the Purple. And, all of these signings, all of these additions, it seems, that the Vikings are serious when they say that it's a competitive rebuild here. Obviously that's what's going on here, and clearly they've kind of already said, like, ownership, the Wolves have said they don't want to stink it up. Okay, they're not looking to tear the whole thing down. That's not something, you're not going to do that. All right, not going to do that. And now with Kwesi coming in as the new general manager and Kevin O'Connell as the new head coach, well, they're going to have to oblige to that, right? So they're doing what they can here. And again, like I said, on paper, everything looks good. And like, if this is what you're trying to do, okay, if this is what you think, you're putting the pieces in place, all right, to get to the big game, all right, they're trying, hey, all right, A for effort for trying so far. But I'm still under the impression of, okay, you're bringing back this entire roster from last season because you think it's got so much potential. They didn't even make the playoffs last year. They didn't even make the playoffs, but they're so close. The pieces are in place here. Pieces are in place. All right. How many times have we heard that before? And no pun intended here, but I'm kind of jaded by that whole thing. Like, they're so close. They're so close. It's how many times Have we heard that before? I think that we're in purple purgatory, being as the Vikings are stuck in this like competitive rebuild loop. That's what's going on here, and that's what has been going on the entire time. At least since the Wolves have taken over. Like, that's what's always been happening. It's just the fact, too, that Kwesi just up and said it. Like, that is what's actually occurring here, is a competitive rebuild. And again, I have to say, A, for being honest, A for effort there, like, good on him for just spewing it out, and that's what's been happening the whole time, people. It's just out in the open now. Okay, that's what I'm convinced of anyway. And again, we just have to wait and see what's actually going to happen when the season goes down. But this is their prerogative, trying to bring everybody back and trying to be as competitive as possible right now. And to me, obviously, Kwesi and Kevin seem like smart dudes, and they're brand new, so of course they're gonna try their damnedest to get stuff done, to get what ownership wants done. So clearly that's what they're trying to do. Now, us salty, seasoned Vikings fans, we're kind of sitting back here, those of us that live in the realistic realm, like I do, we're like, okay, we've seen this before. Let's see it. Let's see the receipts here. I want the receipts. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. Of course, I want the Vikings to win the big game. I would love it. I would love it waiting, but I'll believe it when I see it, because I've seen a lot of this. I've heard a lot of the pieces are in place, blah, 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 blah. All right, I want some receipts here, people. So, anyway, the next thing here for the NFL in general is the draft. It's coming up and right around the corner here, about a month away, end of April 28th through April 30th. I wonder, too, if anything monumentous is going to happen before then, but the Vikings currently have the 12th overall pick. And is it going to be a cornerback? Possibly. And but of course we'll have to wait. And so stuff's happening though, and I'm still just very skeptical of it all. But as a fan of the team, I have to accept what's happening. Sure, I can sit back and watch it happen. I don't have to necessarily accept it though. But I'll watch it, I'll go down and, hope for the best. But I'm still going to call it how I see it. So, like I said, I want to see the receipts. But, we got a ways to wait. Anyway, people, thanks so much for checking out the channel. Thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think. Let me know, too, what you think of what the team has done so far. And, two, I want to know if anyone has kind of, jumped ship. Anybody that was just, hard against bringing the entire team back, they wanted to tear the team down, and I want to know if anybody has jumped ship. At first they were against bringing everybody back, and now with everything that's transpired, I want to know if anybody's I kind of like what I see so far. I might change my tune a little bit. All right, because I think there's a lot of purple Kool-Aid that's being sipped on right now, and I'm not sipping on it yet. I'm letting everybody else sample it. All right, I'm letting y'all sample it and watching how it goes down, because I'm not doing it. But anyway, now I'm just rambling like I can do sometimes. But anyway, thanks again for joining me, everybody. And yeah, let me know what you think. Has anybody jumped ship? Or maybe people were, vice versa. They're now they've seen all this go down. And they're like, man, I really wish they would have tore the thing down. But let me know. Y'all always do. And until next time, everybody, peace out and take care. P.S. Mar, how's it going? Hi, of course, to you and Kitty. I miss you both. I see she is just hanging in the cat condo all day long. Of course, why shouldn't she? It's a nice place to hang. Got that sunbeam coming right in there. So cute. All right. But, I miss you both. Hope y'all are taking care. All right, everybody, I'll catch you later. Peace.